Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Age of Fear 3 with me, Cornish-Knight, as we continue our Let's Play series. Now, we are in the pyramids. Where are my English language today? We are in the pyramids fighting some mummies. Should be a relatively straightforward fight. I found out why my hero wasn't being healed by magical means. He is a demon, and as a result, he cannot be cured by magical healing. Which means that I might have to change my tactics, to be honest, because that's a pretty bad thing to have. Right. Okay, that sucked. We only hit one thing, it wasn't even an enemy. That's a pain. Alright, hit them with a fireball at least. So we did a bit of damage. I'm just going to chuck my guys right in. I don't want the Lich to have time to re-bring stuff up. So I'm just going to pound them brutally with my units and keep pressure on straight away. The more pressure I put on, the less time the Lich will have to bring people back. So where do you want to put him? That's the question. We'll put him here. Because we'll kill off that mummy. We'll kill off the skeleton, which means you can't bring that skeleton back. He should be able to eat the damage, hopefully. Smack him in the face. These guys those mummies up there are going to be a pain, but I want to try and break through this central group as quickly as possible. So let's just... I wish I could get a weapon that gave double damage to the werewolf. He'd be much more powerful than he currently is. Yeah, I'm not particularly happy with how the werewolf has turned out in this particular campaign. He's not as tough as I normally would like him to be. Move these units up. This bit up here is purely going to be about containing these three mummies and the undead warlock and the undead mage. Right, well, who do you want to cast on? Do we want to cast Mass Bless on the right, the top or the bottom group? I don't think we'll get either of the heroes anyway. No, we won't, too far. Bottom blokes are rather tanky, so we'll cast it on these guys instead. I should have probably done it before the battle started, if we're being tactically honest. This is something that you can get away with on normal difficulty, but on the harder difficulties you must figure out your turn order for abilities. Right, these guys are healing up. It's not a huge issue. I mean, by this state of the game, the worst thing that can happen to us is you lose some experience, which isn't the largest problem in the world. I might have to change tactics with Balver. I might have to take his armour off and replace it with the meteoric armour. It will reduce his defence by quite a lot, but it will mean that he can only take one source of damage from any one source, which isn't as bad. I mean, the other choice I have is to remove his demonic sword, which is what's making him have the effect in the first place. But I don't know. I suppose I could give it to the werewolf because the werewolf has healing. He has regen, so he won't be as affected by it, I suppose. I mean, that's always something I could do. Actually, yeah, I mean, I might have to do that. I haven't done it in this episode, obviously, because like you're watching a recording with my post-commentary stuff in it. So, in this instance, I'm probably going to do this next episode then, is to make sure that happens. Yeah, so I'd probably take the demon sword off Balver, and put it on the werewolf, and the werewolf will become demonic, but it's not a huge loss. In response, we'll put the vampiric blade back on our hero, which will mean that he'll be able to heal a lot more. Well, he'll get healed, and when we're fighting normal opponents, he shouldn't be so bad. Right, we're rewinding time on him so he can go straight for the Lich. We'll deal with him quickly. I mean, he does a ton of damage. This is the problem I have. This guy right now is an absolute beast damage-wise, but he's a complete glass cannon, which is that he has high defense, but anything that will get past his defense will basically really badly hurt him. So I don't know. I mean, I want to put the meteoric armor on him, even though it reduces his defense. It will just reduce how much points of damage he takes. And as long as we're careful about what opponents we chuck him into, he shouldn't have too much issues. As I said, the other thing we could do is just take away his demonic sword, just stopping him from healing. It's a split. I believe in this video I do go the whole giving him the meteoric armor, which reduces his defense but limits his amount of damage he can take. In hindsight, I should probably, in hindsight, what I'm going to do next episode is take the demonic sword from him, give it to the werewolf, give the vampiric sword back to the hero, give him back his dragon armor, and then whoa, yeah, I mean that's the best options. The werewolf will do better with the demonic sword because he has regeneration. So he should be able to cope a bit better with it. Especially if we only send him to kill, like, grunts. What we want to send Balver to do is for him to basically murder the more elite troops in the army. That's what Balver's basically designed for at this point. I don't know. This is one of those catch-22 scenarios, which is that if I keep him like this, he's super damage dealing, but he will, if he gets mobbed by a couple of really strong elite units, like you saw what happened with the Ballistica, he got killed really quickly. True, the Ballistica barrage was a really bad situation, but as he stands right now, I don't like how I have to constantly pull him back out of danger and heal him. It's not a style that I particularly like with him. I'd rather that he stay in the fight for longer. More Berserker armor, Mirror Cloak, Ruby. God, we're getting a lot of stuff out of this. I don't like how he's becoming a bit too fragile. And though the Meteoric armor would affect this slightly by making him less damage spongy, as you want to call it, it would still mean he'd be more likely to get... I don't know, I'll see how he fares. What I'd probably do is do the combination with the meteoric armor and see how it works, and put him in a battle and see how he goes. If he's a bit more tanky and he can take a bit more damage, then I should be okay. But if not, getting a whole load of stuff. I mean, to be honest, like, by this point in the game, this is the thing I find a bit strange, by this point in the game, if you haven't already gotten a lot of the equipment you want to get, a lot of this stuff you just don't, like, you just get a whole lot of, this is the thing I always found really strange about the Age of Fear series. I like the Age of Fear series a lot, but especially by the time you get to the end, like, towards the end of the campaign, you've got your selected items and you have your formations and tactics and stuff planned out. So a lot of this magical stuff you get, you just sell. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I have magical talks for both my mages. I'm pretty, like, it's like the Berserker armor. We've had like 4 suits of Berserker armor by this point in the game. Turn everything into rubies. Well, every ruby into a diamond, I should say. Right, let's see. Where do we want to go? We want to get some more experience, fully max out our guys' experience. I mean, by this point, we have an overly decent army. Yeah, it's like I said, it's the evil trait, it's the demonic sword, it's the demon that turns you into a demon to use it, which means you're immune to magical healing. Which isn't so bad. I don't know. I don't like the fact that I have to pull Balver out of combat. I mean, I could take off the demonic sword, give him Shard Blade. He already has double attack though, which isn't as useful. Headless Shield can stay because it doesn't require you to be evil. We'd lose the Demon Heart if we took the sword off because it requires you to be a demon. Yeah. It's annoying, I'm not going to lie. I mean, as I said, we could give him the meteoric armor. This is what I basically do in the video, is that I decide to give him the meteoric armor just so that he can be as offensive, like combat offensive, as I like him to be. But it won't really fix the issue, which is that every time he gets hit, unless he drinks a potion, he's not going to heal it. It's one of these hard situations, which is that I haven't got. There's a couple of weapons that I'd really love for him to have. The Executioner Sword would be fantastic for him. There's a couple of other weapons in the game that would probably be just as good. I mean, Doombringer is a really good sword, but the impact of it making you demonic so you can't get healed from magical means just really sucks, especially late game, where you need to have multiple paths of healing for each unit. Right, what do you want to give him? Iron Mind, yeah, I mean, he's probably got immunity to it, but I don't trust this game not to take away all my equipment on some missions, so Battle Rage. Strong Roots is definitely what they need. Stunning Attack. Stunning Attack isn't too bad. Right, so he's fully leveled up. I mean, by this point, like, all my guys are pretty much leveled up. So it's a really elite force. Get Cleave, because Cleave for the werewolf is like almost mandatory. We'll get Executioner. Greater Magical Resistance. These guys are really beastly now. Like, these are end game elite units that have got full XP and nearly all the stats. So you really do not want to be messing with these blokes. Yeah. Make sure he has everything. I mean, I might not even use these units. The thing is that the Elder Shrooms are really useful, but if you take them to a battle not knowing what you're going to be facing, then you are confronted with the fact that your units may not get any damage done. Because if they have poison resistance, which a lot of late game units do have, it means your chances to actually hit and do damage to them go down drastically. So it's far better just to take a unit that's just does a bog standard attack. Unfortunately, that sort of strategy falls down when you come in contact with stuff like constructs or elementals who have the whole immune to physical attack stuff. But it's how it is. Great regeneration. We want to get Strong Roots. Out of all of these, Strong Roots is the most important. Magical Resistance. Nice, nice, nice. I just don't like Bloodlust. Bloodlust is an ability that I tend to avoid at all costs, because if you don't know who you're fighting in the mission, it's a throw of the dice, and you just don't want that on the higher difficulties. Right, do I want to do one of the random missions? No, let's do the whole. What is that, declares Balva? I have no idea, but it scares me, and that spinning it's doing is giving me a headache, says and the porters remains quiet. Balva stares at the port of Nari, stares at Balva, and the porter stares back at Nari. I can't stand this silence, nothing is scarier than Balva. Shall we go in? Right, we all know what's inside here. Yeah, we got everything sorted out. I mean... yeah, I mean, I'll try using the meteoric iron combination, just so you guys can see, well, just both so yourselves and I can see if it's a better tactic than just getting rid of his demon sword. The problem is it will make him easier to hit, which is the downside. But then the plus is he only ever takes 1 point of damage from that. It's like it's an Occam's razor kind of situation. I mean, actually, that's the bad analogy. Occam's razor would be the simplest answer. Would be for me to get rid of the demon sword. Yeah. Sorry if you can hear whining in the background. There's nothing I can do about that. There's someone basically grinding metalwork. I'll try using the... Nah, ornate buckler's not really worth anything at this point. I'll try using the meteor iron armor, but I don't know. I get the bad feeling that it will just make the situation. It's a stopgap solution rather than actual cure. I mean, like the werewolf needs to have the berserker armor just so he can get the double damage or double attacks off, which is something he desperately needs. And it also drops his speed as well. Is it worth it? I'll give it a shot. I'm not too sure now, after looking back on this video, that this is the best idea in the world, because it will make him easier to hit. And even though it will reduce the damage to 1, he'll be hit more often, so it's just shifting it from being, when he gets hit, he'll take a lot of damage, because the only things hitting him will be really nasty monsters, unless you get hit by like a literal metric ton of attacks. It's just one of these bad situations. It really is. Make sure everybody has the necessary potions. The amount of times I've gone into battles without the right potions. Right, let's see what we're facing the Sage. This is what it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's the Shade fight in the portal. That's going to be fun. You fell for it, mortals, to close the Shade. You shall die just like the old master. It chuckles evilly. Well, it's going to suck for you, mate, because I literally have the perfect party for this. I mean, yes, I could have probably not taken the mushrooms, but they're small, so they can fit in the gaps. All we have to do is just put our healers in here and just put them in a triangle. Just put them in a triangle and surround them with big units. And nothing gets in. I mean, even the fungoids are playing their role now because they can fill in the gaps in our group. What I don't want, though, is I don't want any unit to be stuck outside the circle, because that would just become very, very bad news. Where do we want to put him? Actually, we can put the mushroom up here, and it's not so bad because he's got the troll that will relatively protect him. Yeah, I mean, I don't put much money on the wraiths doing a lot to us, because we'll just hit them with a ton of abilities. And as long as we don't break formation, we should be fine. I mean, and we'll also just give bless to everybody, just mass bless everyone, and just like curse the other opponents. So this should be a relatively straightforward fight. But we're going to save here. Once we get this done, I'll probably just go straight onto the end battle, like go straight back into the campaign and try and get this Let's Play finished off. Because I want to try and go back and do the series on a much harder difficulty. But that's for next time, folks. If you have liked, please press the like button. If you subscribe, please press the subscription button. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Steam. You can leave a comment in the comment section. I'll get back in contact with you. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section, and developers will contact you if it's aimed at them, or I will contact you if it's aimed at me. Goodbye, everybody, and have a lovely day.